What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, the other day I went ahead and grinded out, I tried to grind for a long time, but we all know how it is when I try to play Battlefield 2042. It didn't last very long. But we went ahead and played Season 1 for Battlefield 2042, and as we all know, for DICE at least, this is probably the most crucial point in all of Battlefield 2042's lifespan. There's multiple moments that happened within this game, multiple updates that were very good, positive updates that help with the performance. But all of us knew this, all of us, including the developers, that this update right here, Season 1, is the only thing that anybody cares about. And it's the only possible thing that would bring anybody back to go ahead and play this game, because I believe the seasons are going to last for about 3 to 4 months. So just think about that. They already pushed back Season 1 long enough. We waited 8+ months to get this content. Now we have to wait 3+ more to get more things in this game. It's going to be a very rough ride. But, it's not really much to say. Besides, they flopped. They completely flopped when it comes to everything revolving around this update. First off, nobody could even get into the game. The update went live around, I believe, 8 or 9 a.m. I knew it was going to be problems. It is so incredibly rare for DICE to be able to nail a massive update like this and actually have the servers functioning correctly, even when they know the game and their livelihoods are on the line right here. Everything's on the line. Even when they know that, they still don't go ahead and put forth effort into making sure that the servers launch correctly. It's hilarious to me because Tom Henderson actually said this is the same exact problem they were having in the test version of this game. They literally had a small test version for content creators to play. They didn't have a massive surge of players coming into the scene here. It was nothing crazy. It was a small test to see how the map is and to give content creators, a little taste of the experience. And they couldn't even get around this, this problem where it's an error every single time that you try to load into the game. It's an error before the game. It's an error while you're loading into the game. It's an error after the game. It's an error everywhere. You can't get into the overall experience. And that went on for 5 hours. I was going to go ahead and start up my own stream and, play right when it went live. But like I said, after watching some other people on YouTube and on Twitch and watching them suffer trying to get into the servers, I knew that this was not going to be an issue that was resolved right away. So I went about my business. I waited a little bit more into the day, and like I just said, it was 5 total hours until they finally resolved the issue. And even after they resolved the issue, it still took another hour or two afterwards until everybody was completely perfect and the servers were 110% back online. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure a lot of you are a lot more lenient than I am, but to me that is completely unacceptable, especially with such a massive update. At any other job that I would have personally, if I flopped this massively on an update that was a make it or break it situation for the product that I'm putting out, I would have been fired. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say any of them should be fired, because we know behind the scenes it's not looking pretty for a lot of these guys. All the OGs are leaving, the management is absolute hell, it's a lot of problems here. But I'm just saying in general, if this were any one of us in a regular working environment, none of us would be here right now, right? This is unacceptable. But it's been 5 hours, the servers are finally online and everything of that sort. So what is the content like? We finally got hands-on, we got into the experience, we waited 5+ hours for this, so obviously, this life-saving update has to be outstanding, right? Well, to be a little positive, I love the map, I'll be honest with you guys. This footage here should be a full life, getting the full experience of what this map is all about. You'll experience the close-quartered areas that this map has to offer, along with the wide-open landscapes that look absolutely stunning and beautiful. I gotta be honest, out of all the maps in Battlefield 2042, this is hands down my favorite map, and I gotta say, out of the whole franchise, I'm gonna be real with you, it's amazing. I really, 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 really love this map. Now, is it worth installing to try it out alone? I would say no, but if you already have the game installed, I say check it out. It's tons of fun, and it really gives you that core classic Battlefield vibe. And you could definitely tell that the developers learned from their problems with the previous maps. I think this is truly what they put all their time into. When they said they needed extra time, those 8 total months, instead of making new content for the game, they literally just put all of their resources into trying to remodel all of these maps. Because I guarantee all the DLC maps that they have planned for the future were just as bad as the base launch maps. So once they heard everybody hated the base launch maps, they went into, complete chaos mode and just revamped this whole thing. I guarantee it, because, oh man, this experience is completely different from the whole game. There's no possible way this was planned and made this way from the beginning. There's the new specialist. I believe her name is Liz. I literally do not give a crap about the individuals, themselves. Not trying to be mean to the, the actors, the voice actors behind these characters, but truly, it all comes down to whoever, wrote the story and the lore behind this game. None of them are interesting in my personal opinion. The only reason I even care about the specialist is because of the ability that is attached to her. And I gotta say, just as expected, it's toxic. Everybody said this thing was not going to be, overpowered. The rocket, the guided laser rocket, whatever you want to call this thing. Everybody says it's not going to be overpowered. The splash damage is bad. Yeah, it is kind of bad. But, if you can aim, that's all you really need to be able to do is aim. You will be getting tons of kills with this rocket. And like we all know, it recharges. The specialist abilities all recharge, so you get endless amounts of these rockets. And yes, sometimes you gotta wait a little bit, but you don't have to worry about ammo, you don't have to worry about anything. In one life, I can get a never-ending amount of rockets that I can use on enemies, vehicles, and the vehicles, it's a little bit harder to hit them sometimes, depending on the pilot, but it's always fun. I say, taking out vehicles is the most optimal experience for the specialist, and it's actually tons of fun. I've spent, multiple rounds just spending 10+ minutes sitting just out in the open, hunting vehicles, just enjoying the experience specifically just like that. I wasn't engaging with infantry. I wasn't going out there. I just really enjoyed using it and just trying to take out vehicles out of the sky. It was pretty cool. But like I said, it gets toxic. I already know that when, a full squad of players start to learn how to use this thing, or you get a bunch of people who are starting to understand how Liz actually functions, these rockets are going to become very obnoxious. I mean, you just have to be, hurt in general, half health, and this thing will probably wipe you clean. I've even hit shields, like Irish shields, on the outside of the shield, not on the inside, on the outside, and gotten triple to quad kills. People hiding behind the shield, and people are telling me the splash damage isn't crazy on this thing. I don't know about all of that. And of course, they added in 2 new weapons, basically only one because I don't even want to consider the crossbow to be an official, primary weapon. So the AS Val, which transfers pretty much into 3 different types of categories, an SMG AR or an actual, marksman DMR rifle, whatever you want it to be. Pretty cool. I didn't get the chance to try it out yet. I still have to grind up in the battle pass. Like I said, the game gets very boring very quick. So to grind up the battle pass consistently is going to be a pain in the butt. But once I go ahead and unlock those weapons, I'll talk a little bit more about it. And is there anything else? Oh yeah, the stealth chopper. Yeah, there's a new chopper in the game. 1 per each team. Yeah. That's season 1, ladies and gentlemen. The life-saving season that was going to, save all, came out and did absolutely nothing. It just hurts because, they had all this extra time. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and we didn't get it. 1 map, 2 weapons, basically 1 weapon, 1 new type of vehicle. They claim it's 2, but it's 1 vehicle, 1 for each team. It's pretty much done for 24/2. This isn't enough to keep anybody interested. Was it a good update? Yeah, I mean, it is. Was it fun? Yes. This is probably the most fun I've had playing Battlefield 24/2. The map, the optimization now, it's getting better. It's getting there. But it's nowhere close. This update should have came in the game as a Christmas bonus, a little Christmas special, giving us 1 map, 2 new weapons. That's what this should have been. Very early on, this would have been well accepted. 8 months afterwards, no. This is just simply not enough content to keep anybody interested. And the worst part about it is that the mid-season updates isn't even going to be new content. It's just going to be the revamped version of the base maps. Kaleidoscope is coming in late August, so that's going to be considered the mid-season update for this game. And it's just going to be a revamped base map that we already had. Yeah, it's going to be a different experience when we play it, but it's nothing new. And of course, even with the game constantly kicking people out, having inconsistent servers, 24/7 shutting down all the time, not allowing you to keep, constant parties going on within the game, horrible ping because you don't have a server browser in the game. Even with all of these issues going on, they were still able to manage to stuff in their store and also stuff in their battle pass, which I gotta say, the content, I quickly breezed through. I didn't really go in depth. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll look back a little bit, later because I don't really care about it right now. I'm going to be like, I just don't care. That's my problem right now. None of this stuff made me care. But as I was saying, it looks decent enough. It's enough content in there. But again, of course, all of the stuff that looks reasonable in this game is going to cost you $1 amount. How do they have the nerve to go ahead and do that? They didn't release anything in this game. They gave us the most bare-bone update after telling us that we have to wait extra time for the season to drop. And then they go ahead and charge us for all the good stuff in the game. You know, if you want extra content to grind that's going to be good camos and stuff in the game, you have to buy the Battle Pass. You have to purchase that. Either that or you purchase the expensive edition of Battlefield 2042. And same thing with the story. You know, you want something cool and you want something that looks clean? Yeah, don't grind the game, you know. Go ahead and check out the stores. I guarantee you that the weekly challenges are going to slowly start to become worse and worse and worse as the months come on. How much you guys want to bet? Because, you know, before, when they didn't have a store, they had to encourage people to come back, which that's what they did with the weekly challenges. But now that the store is implemented now, all of the cool skins are going to go into the store. And, of course, all the crappiest of the crap is going to be in the weekly challenges. I guarantee that's how the change-up is going to turn out to be. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really have to say. Battlefield 2042 Season 1 was an absolute failure. I mean, people didn't even have enough time to try out the update with how long it took for it to function. Nobody even gave it a shot. And as we always say on this channel, you know, you have to nail the first impressions, and if people can't even get into the game to give their first initial impressions, they're just going to go elsewhere. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both the link down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.